Welcome to day 76 of our school year. All right, let's get down our beginning fraction. Denominator is our total amount of school days, and our numerator is the day we're on, 76. Now we need to think, is our numerator prime or composite? Well, 76 is even, and the only prime number that's even is the number 2, so that means it is composite, because it automatically has more than 2 factors, because 2 is a factor. So that means we have to do our prime factorization for both our denominator and our numerator. Let's see, 180 is even, so I can divide by 2. Half of 18 is 9, and then I have my placeholder. 90, that ends in a 0, so I could divide by 5. I can get 10 5s out of 90, that leaves 40, which is 8. 18 is even, so I can divide by 2, I get 9. 9, I can divide by 3, I get 3. 3 is prime, so I'm done. Okay, 76 is even, so I can divide by 2. I can get 32s out of 7. That would be 60, that leaves 16, that's 8. That's even, so I can divide by 2 again. I can get 10 groups of 2 out of 30, that leaves 18, and then 9. 19's prime, so we're done. Let's go ahead and list our prime factorization. 2 times 2 times 3 times 3 times 5. And here 2 times 2 times 19. So let's see what factors we have in common. We have 2 times 2. 2 times 2 is 4, so 4 is our greatest common factor. That leaves 19 in the numerator. 3 times 3 is 9, times 5 is 45 in the denominator. Okay, so let's go ahead and make our groups of 4. I'm going to use my perfect squares here. Do make sure that you keep your shaded separated from your unshaded. You do not have to do perfect squares. You can make your groups of 4 in any way you want. Just make sure there's 4 in each. I like using the perfect squares though. And 4 is a perfect square because, if you notice, we make perfect squares. Both sides are the same length, a unit of 2. Alright, so I've made all my groups of 4. And the way I made my groups, it's easy to count because I have 5 groups of 4 in each of my rows here. So I have 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 35, 40, 45 total groups. And I have 5, 10, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 shaded in. Okay, now that I've done my division with my model, let's go ahead and use our algorithm to divide both of these by 4. So we're using our area model. I'm going to divide 180 into groups of 4 and 76 into groups of 4. I'm sorry, 76 into groups of 4. So here, 4 quarters makes $1 or 100 cents. More on top, no need to, I'm sorry, numbers the same, zeros the game. More on top, no need to stop. Numbers the same, zeros the game. Let's bring 80 up here. And let's see, 20 times 4, placeholder moves it over place. 2 times 4 is 8. Numbers the same, zeros a gain. Let's add these partial quotients together. 25 plus 20 more is 45. Here, let's do 10 groups of 4 is 40. More on top, no need to stop. More on top, no need to stop. Let's do 5 groups of 4 is 20. more on top, no need to stop, more on top, no need to stop. And 4 times 4 is 16. Numbers the same, zeros the game. Now you may have recognized here that 9 times 4 is 36, and you would get to the same result of 19. Just want to show you that you can use the factors you know to get to the solution. Just use what you know to get there. You may get there faster, slower. As long as you get there, that's what matters. All right, let's check. Divisor times quotient plus remainder. Got to use these inverse operations. Divisor times quotient plus remainder. Okay, since our remainder is 0 for both, and the identity property of addition says when you add 0 it stays the same, we don't need to take time to add the 0. 4 groups of 5 is 20. 4 groups of 4 tens is 16 tens, plus 2 more tens is 18 tens. 4 groups of 9 is 36. 4 groups of 10 is 4 tens, plus 3 more tens is 7 tens. 76, that matches our dividend here. 180, that matches our dividend here. So it's both check. That means our numerator is definitely 19, and our denominator is definitely 45. Let's go ahead and fill in our data collection page. Okay, we're on trimester 2, week 4. Today's date is 12/3/19, and our fraction for today is 19/45. Okay, let's go ahead and get out our number line. We did groups of 4, so let's look for that 4. Go across. Okay, the last one we have is 17/45. So we get down 18/45, which is equivalent to 36/90, and to 2/5. 2/5 is the simplest form, or the equivalent fraction in lowest terms. And then today is 19/45. There's nothing lined up below it because it is the simplest form, but there is an equivalent fraction in the 2's because 2 is also a common factor. All right, let's go ahead and put your number line away, erase your worksheet, and thank you for joining me.